All right, so what's the goal here? The goal is to securely mount your flash in an off-camera position so that you're using off-camera flash instead of on-camera flash, right? Because off-camera flash is the desired way to use flash. You know, you get your lighting off the same axis as your camera, you know, in lens position, then typically the lighting just looks better. It looks more natural, or at least it looks more sophisticated. So there's so many different ways for you to mount that flash elsewhere, you know, other than your camera position. I'm going to go over several of these ways, and I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite, at least my current favorite, and I'm also going to tell you why that is the case. All right, so let's start off with something that I have claimed in the past that I never use. You know, when you first buy a flash and it comes in this, you know, these crazy little pouches, right, that you're never going to use, more than likely. Inside is usually another little pouch. In that pouch is what some people call a mini stand, right? So this is it's a little shoe for your flash that acts as a stand. Now this is how you might mount your flash to a mini stand. Then you can stand your flash up on a table or something like that. Now like I said, I've claimed before that this is something that nobody ever uses. I've never used it. Might as well just throw it away because it's useless. And I realized, no, there was at least one time that I did use a couple of these in a 2-flash setup, and that was in a hotel room here in Austin. I was visiting from New York, and I had a friend meet me at the hotel, and we decided to do a little impromptu shoot. I didn't take any lighting stands with me, but I did have these little mini flash stands, one for each flash, and I placed them in various spots around the room. I used a nightstand, placed it on the little work desk that you find in some hotel rooms, and it worked out for me because I was able to place that flash you know, in those positions, and then I just aimed it up and tried to bounce the light off the walls. What's cool about some of these is that they come with a little thread in them, so that if you do have a light stand, you can attach it to the light stand, then attach your flash. So it's another way to secure a flash onto your light stand. The only thing is there's no way to angle the flash down. You can, you know, use the flash head and angle it up like this. And it doesn't have any way for you to mount some kind of an umbrella or a little softbox to it or anything. It's just another way to secure it to the stud on the end of a light stand. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is the swivel bracket or umbrella adapter. It's got a couple of different names, but the way that this works, this is really handy. This is something that a lot of people still use. Probably most people who are doing off-camera flash with Speedlights, shoe mount flashes, they probably still use this. And the way that it works is pretty simple. Now you need a cold shoe, all right, and this, we'll just use this guy again. Your flash mounts to a cold shoe. You've got a little stud that screws into the bottom of the cold shoe. That gets placed in the top of the swivel bracket. Then you tighten a knob here to secure it. The flash secures onto the cold shoe like this with this knob. And you place the swivel bracket on top of this stud on the light stand, tighten it up here. It's got a hole here for the umbrella shaft if you're using a modifier that uses an umbrella shaft, and usually that's an umbrella or a shoot-through umbrella. And it has this handy lever here that allows you to adjust the angle. All right, there are also special, more proprietary flash mounts like this. Take a flash, try to force it into. All right, well I think this was made for Nikon flashes. So I don't use Nikon, so it's always been kind of a hassle, but this mounts to here, this goes in here, and this fits into the back end of this softbox unit like this. By the way, this is Elastolite Easy Box. All right, so what else do we have? We also have, you know, your standard flash bracket, which I don't have one with me right now, but your standard flash bracket will connect up to your flash somehow, and it'll technically take it off the camera, but only about this far. Turn it like this, maybe it'll go about this high. That's a flash bracket. I do have a video on flash brackets. I'll link to that up here. And there's also these dedicated sync cords which place on your camera like this. You can mount a flash here, but usually you're going to mount the flash over here like this, and then you can have sort of an off-camera situation happening. But we're not going to count these as true off-camera because, I mean, let's face it, if it's within arm's reach, is it really doing all that much? Not unless you're shooting macro, probably. Sometimes if you're using radio triggers like this, you'll have a pass-through place to mount your flash. But again, this isn't off-camera. This is just another way to mount a flash. I don't usually use my flash on top of a radio transmitter. There are also other little adapters that lots of times have a flash hot shoe or cold shoe connection. And I should say that there are also some multi-flash mounts which allow you to mount more than one flash at a time, like in this configuration, sometimes in 4 at a time, where we've got 2 like this and 2 like this. Then you've got to somehow mount that to a stand. All right, I told you I was going to tell you what my favorite one currently is, and this is it. This is, I'm not sure if this is the Godox model or one of the other models. There's a Neewer, and there is the Glow version of these, but they're all pretty much the same. And I don't know if they're made by the exact same manufacturer, and they're just, branded under different names, but they all work basically the same. And this is pretty handy. I'm going to just remove this guy. Or we'll place this guy on the light stand pretty much the same way that you would with one of these. Just secure it like this. And what's cool is it also has a hole for an umbrella shaft similar to this. There's a little bit of an advantage here, and I'll show you in a second. The cool thing here is that instead of mounting your flash's foot onto a cold shoe, which some might argue is not really all that secure, because you've got this one little point of contact here that sometimes does break, and you lose your flash because it falls to the floor. This mounts in a totally different way. This actually clamps down on the flash head itself, so you've got this really big point of contact here and here. This flash isn't going anywhere. So all the stress isn't on the flash foot right here, because there's no stress on it. It's just being securely held by the flash head and this clamp. All right, so here's a hole for the umbrella shaft, and or a modifier that uses an umbrella shaft, and a little knob to secure that. The cool thing is that the flash, if you've got your umbrella here like this, let's say it's a shoot-through umbrella, flash is going this way towards your subject. The flash head is in almost direct line with the middle of the umbrella. Whereas if it was mounted on one of these guys, there's a lot of separation between the actual middle of the umbrella, where the shaft meets up with from this angle, and the head's way up here. So, but this is more straight ahead, like straight into your umbrella or your little umbrella-like softbox. The other cool thing is that this is a Bowens type mount, which means you've got a lot of different options for adding modifiers that are compatible with Bowens mounts. So let's take this for example. And it's got a hole here so that umbrella shaft can still pass through it here. What if we wanted to add barn doors? Now we've got barn doors. Now we can shape our light a little bit. This set comes with a cool grid that fits right in here, so you can narrow your beam of light. Or what if you want to add a gel? Now I used this actual setup with the red gel in a previous video. I'm going to link to that so you can see how all that worked together in an actual shoot. But yeah, I have to say that this S-type mount is my new favorite way to mount a flash. Remove the flash as easy as that, and it all packs up pretty compactly. So why do I like this solution better than my old standard swivel bracket adapter, umbrella adapter thing? Because it secures the flash in a smart way by covering more surface area in terms of making contact with the flash while it's securing it. There's no worry about the flash foot not fitting in some of the cold shoe adapters because this is I'm using a TT685S here, and this is, you know, a shoe that just it doesn't fit into all of the cold shoe adapters. Some of the ones that come with these swivel adapters aren't removable, so you're stuck with whatever comes with that adapter. And some of these little feet don't fit correctly in those adapters. So you don't have to worry about this with this, and you're not going to have to worry that this is ever going to break off when you mount your flash this way. Again, the flash head is directly in line with your modifier. The big bonus is that it's compatible with the Bowens type modifiers. So I'm not saying that there aren't good reasons to keep using something like this. This is still a good option in many situations. It's just that for now, I'm noticing that this solves most of my problems for both indoor and outdoor shoots. Plus the price is great. I think you can get a good swivel bracket for around 30 bucks, maybe a little more. These guys only cost about 20 bucks. So if you need several, you're gonna save some money. As usual, links to everything are gonna be down below. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you click that like button, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I guess that's about it for today, guys. See you next time.